Hey guys, this is Cassie with Under the Radar Reviews, and this week I'm going to be talking about Limbo. Now I know a lot of you are probably wondering why I chose Limbo for Under the Radar Reviews, because it's not really underrated and it was praised a lot. But I chose Limbo because from what I've heard from my friends and people around me, a lot of people haven't heard of Limbo, and that just really surprised me because, like a lot of you were thinking, I thought, well, how could Limbo, how have you not heard of Limbo? It got so much praise and so many people talked about it. It was a very successful indie game. But I feel like a lot more people don't know about this game than I thought. I chose to highlight Limbo in this week's Under the Radar review. It's pretty safe to say that you've never seen another game quite like Limbo. Limbo, from the moment I played the demo, it just kind of struck a chord with me. It had an impact on me, and I really wasn't sure why. It was very addictive. It's a black and white puzzle platformer, and some of the puzzles are a little hard. I'll have to admit, I got stuck a few times, but I made it all the way through and got to the end. It's very atmospheric. I think that's a big part of it. The atmosphere in Limbo is really what makes it. The ambient sounds, the soundtrack is just awesome. Just the whole thing, the way it plays out. I mean, you're a little boy, and, well, you're a silhouette of a little boy, and the only thing you can see on him is his bright, white, glowing eyes, and you start out, you wake up in this forest, you don't know why you're there, you don't know who you are, how you ended up in this horrible place, but when you first start out, you don't know that it's horrible, but as you keep going, you encounter some other people that are trying to kill you, and you encounter a giant, freaky fucking spider. It's so fucking scary. Limbo reminded me of other indie games that I've played, like Journey, The Unfinished Swan, Flower, in that there's no dialogue, little to no text or hints. You have no clue about who you are or why you ended up where you are. And I think these games are becoming my favorite games. I get a lot more out of these shorter, more artistic games than I do out of long games made by huge developers, such as, Halo, Call of Duty. I'm not saying those games are bad, because they're not. I enjoy those games. But there's something really special about these shorter, more artistic games that I've been playing. And Limbo was really the first indie game I ever played. When I first started playing it, I had never heard of it before. I didn't know what it was. I didn't know what it was. I didn't know it was a puzzle platformer. I had no clue. To be honest, I can't even remember what made me download the game, because I hadn't even heard of it. I guess I probably played the demo on Jimmy probably downloaded the demo. There's something really special about games that expand on the original model of video games. You throw a player into an unknown world and give them no directions. Just let the player figure out what to do. That's what I like about Limbo. It makes you figure it out. It requires you to think. You have to figure out, okay, what am I supposed to do here? How am I going to get over this, gap or whatever? Limbo requires skill, and at times it can require a lot of patience. I remember there were a couple of times when I got so fed up because I didn't know what to do. I got stuck, but I like that, because then once I figured it out, I felt good. Yeah, but the big thing about Limbo is the atmosphere. Limbo plays out like an interactive painting. It's best to play Limbo with a headset on because the sound really adds to the feel of the game. Limbo is a game that you should plan on dying many, many times, and you'll die a lot in Limbo. You gotta prepare for that. But it's not as frustrating as it is in other games I've played, such as, Mario or any kind of platformer, basically. You don't have, lives or anything, and the checkpoints are really frequent. So that takes a lot of unneeded frustration out of the experience. You know that when you die, you're not going to have to go back that far. You're not going to have to redo a puzzle that you did before or whatever because the checkpoints are so frequent. So I really like that about it. I also like that you don't have any lives. So, you can die 1,000 times and you'll still keep going. It's not going to end. It's not going to make you start all the way over. I guess the days of those kind of games are kind of over anyway, but yeah, I was just thinking about that. There aren't really any games anymore that have lives. Like you don't have lives in games. Yeah, I really can't think of a recent game where you have lives. God, that's heartbreaking. And it's just heartbreaking. Okay, back to the topic here. I find myself coming back to Limbo time and time again. Limbo is a timeless game. It's the perfect length. It's kind of on the short side, but not too short. I think if it were any longer, it would just be really monotonous, and it would kind of be like, okay, when's this gonna end? What am I doing? I feel like it was just the right length. And it has a really high replay value because there's little collectibles you can find. And there's some cool achievements that you can strive for. And also, not even for that, I just think Limbo is just a really cool experience. I find myself going back to it every now and again, just starting a new game and going through it because it's just really fun. And there's always parts where it still makes me jump sometimes because you die unexpectedly. It's just a really fun game to play with. When you get in that mood. My favorite time to play Limbo is on a dark, rainy, or cloudy day. When I have one of those rare days when I can actually stay home and play games all day, which I haven't had one of those days in a while. So on a day like that, I like to be down in my basement, turn on Limbo, put my headset on and just get in the zone. God, I'm such a fucking dork. To me, I think Limbo is just one of the most special games ever created. There's just something about it. I can't really explain it. All I can do is tell you to go buy it. Buy it. Play it. It's $15, It's not that. For the length, I mean, it could be considered to be a little pricey because it's kind of a shorter game, but at the same time, it's completely worth it, especially because of the replay value. Next time on Under the Radar, I will be talking about Wrecked Revenge Revisited for the Xbox Live Arcade, and I'll have a special guest, Jimmy White, from Poppycock Reviews. So, stay tuned for that, and hope you guys have a great day.